Ooh. Here we are. We are on. We are live. How are you doing, everyone? It's Chris here talking about game design, and we are also joined by who we got here? Sam,
Hello.
Fraser,
Hello.
and Charlie.
Buddy.
We've got a full complement today. So how's everyone doing?
Good.
Yeah, doing well.
What do you
Busy
guys?
as per usual.
What have you guys been up to? Anything interesting you've been up to?
Yeah, well, me and Sam are doing a a game jam with a couple of people over this weekend,
Oh wow.
and I actually don't know when it's supposed to be done by. I think maybe Monday.
Okay.
Our
Is that
Monday.
right?
Uh,
Our Monday, but like US Sunday.
yeah.
Yeah.
So which one is it? What's the name of it?
The name of it is
Jam
where is it?
Jamsepticeye.
Jansepticeye.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there a particular, like, is there something
It's
you have to do
put
with
together
that?
by a Yeah, well, our friend's really into a YouTuber who I actually don't know him, who's put it together, and she wanted the team and reached out to us. So he's sort of doing it. I think there's maybe like 2,000 entries, people who have
Nice.
applied. Yeah,
Wow.
so it's sizable.
Cool. Are you going to be able to show us the outcomes?
But yeah, that'd actually be cool to see to show you some of the outcomes.
Yeah.
We'll see how our project comes together by the end of the
Yeah.
week.
I mean your work. I want to see your work. No pressure. No pressure. But
Yeah, no, happy.
yeah. So
Provided, people don't want to. Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure we can share it. Like
Sure.
it's going into a game jam.
Yeah. So that's what you and Sam are up to. Fraser, you've been doing some interesting stuff, haven't you?
Yeah, I've been out of the house. Sam and I met up and went to Playback in Adelaide, which was cool to see a lot of games being play tested and a lot of local game devs. I've
So
also
that
been
that was the Adelaide one.
yes, Adelaide.
Okay,
Adelaide
cool. And that
was-
happens what every month or something.
Yeah, once a month they put an event on. Sometimes it's Playback, sometimes it's I forget the name. I think they do one that's more of just like a social gathering, where Playback is, bring hardware and set up for playtesting and stuff.
Right. And if there's anyone out there from Adelaide, would you'd recommend they go to that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, free event. It's
Free.
there's
Okay. Yeah.
not a lot of risks
free.
to it.
Nice.
Nice.
And it's just nice, being able to see other game devs, because coming from an online only sort of experience, you do miss out on that.
Absolutely. Almost like having a job and going in and a game dev job and meeting game devs like at work every day.
Imagine that.
Goodness me. One of these days. One of these days.
Boy can dream.
Cool. All right. So yeah. So I put a couple of things together. I just there's an issue, and I think this is a very important issue, and this is a very problematic issue. So this is something I put together just so we can have a bit of a chat about this, maybe a bit of a discussion. Game design. What's the point? Now, the question I've got is, why is game design so often maligned by others involved in game development? Do you guys kind of agree with that statement? I mean, is that
I definitely see it. Yeah.
you do see it? Okay.
Yeah.
I think it probably comes down to like a case by case basis.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you've got lots of ideas but not really like the follow through or know how to execute them.
The
that could
classic,
be-
the ideas man.
Yeah.
The number of times I've seen on Reddit, someone, man or woman, jump on there and say, "Oh, I've got $1 million idea for a game or an app." It used to be an app, when apps were really new, or an app, and it's like, and I'll share the profits with you if you build it for me, and they just get slammed by all the developers out there who know the developers, they know how difficult it is to actually develop and create something. So you're saying, Sam, that's interesting. So you're saying in a way that game designers sort of seen as the ideas person in a negative sense?
I mean, it probably does ultimately come down to the individual.
Mm-hmm.
Where if you have all the ideas and you want them done, you know,
For free.
for free.
Yeah.
I can say as a programmer, I can definitely feel it sometimes. Like you're trying to rein the designer in without getting too wild of the ideas. And it's like, okay, there's what we can do. And there's what we would like to do. They're very different things. That's not a negative thing at all, though. To me, at least, I think that's quite like interesting and fun. Trying to find the happy medium.
Fraser's been quite quiet.
I think you can see some pull some insights if you look at similar dynamics in other fields. I think the classic example we go to is architects versus the actual construction team. They sort of have different points of views on the project that's being made, and so I think understandably that can lead to some differences. I think it's understandable how that dynamic can happen and why designers might often get lumped in with this sort of group of unrealistic big thinkers. It makes sense. Obviously it's not helpful. We all need to get along and work together to make things happen, but I understand it.
I think you said it in another stream, Chris, actually, though, like designers, a really good part of designers is that they push the limits. If only programmers built things, would only make things that we know we can make. And the designer often thinks of a new idea to then challenge the people who actually sort of build the fundamentals, which
Sure.
which rung really true to me, at least.
You've experienced that, have you, Charlie?
Oh well, as you want to make code and systems that will function and work, but as you push the boundaries and ultimately get better at your own skill, you do find you can do things, but it might not be at the level or like at the satisfaction level that you want, and that there's probably some bugs lingering in there.
Sure. And what about your designers who come up and say, can you do X, Y, Z, and like you've never done it before? It's like, I mean, that gives you a bit of a challenge too, doesn't it, as a coder?
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's what I'm trying to allude to. It's being presented with challenges to overcome, which is good in all walks of life for learning.
So I've got a few questions here. Some of them we probably kind of covered, but they're really just to get some. These are some of the things that I've heard, like people who say, it's particularly the hardcore coding types who are a little more, I don't know, for some reason they seem to be a little harder on that. So, saying things like, do game designers, I mean, it's a good question, do game designers really do anything? And there's the next one, really, what's the job of a game designer? You can sort of lump these into the thing,
Yeah.
What do game designers do?
I mean, to me, a game designer really excels at those, the abstract thought and ideas and sort of piecing things together. I think it is a skill to have, and it's not something that we all have for sure. So I think like a good game designer to really piece together ideas and flesh out mechanics is absolutely needed. So game designers do things.
So what are those skills though? You sort of alluded a couple of things. I mean, like, can't anyone do that sort of stuff? Fleshing out mechanics.
But it's critical thinking, isn't it? It's
Is it?
You can have an idea, but then piecing it all together is another skill itself. I think it is, right?
Well, I guess being able to see the bigger picture based on all the parts.
Yeah.
And it's hard to do. Like if you have like a simple card game mechanic, I mean, a good designer would. How can you make like a simple mechanic entertaining and engaging for the audience?
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, I've often said, and you guys have probably heard me say this, I think, design tends to be a big picture, activity, if you like. Whereas coding, to be a good coder, and like I consider myself to be a sort of a middling coder because I am kind of more big picture. But coding, if you're a really good coder, you're going to be a detail person, which means you might find it actually quite hard to look at the big picture. But good coding requires, looking really in detail at what's going on in that code. You've got to be able to do that. If you find that difficult to do, which means you're more of a big picture person, then you're maybe not such a great coder. But if you're a detail person, it's hard. I think it's hard to be a good designer of products, if you like.
Yeah. Well, going further from that, like coders, we see the end picture, but it's our job to sort of go step by step to get there.
Mm-hmm.
So we're just focused on, a very short and small segment of the overall problem.
Mm-hmm. Fraser's still being very quiet in the background there. He's not saying anything.
Lost in thought.
No, I mean, there is a good healthy dose of sort of that imposter syndrome where it's like any opinions I have could be, reflected poorly, or maybe I'm just saying things to try and validate myself. So it's really easy just to let you guys talk about it. But I like the and yeah, I mean, Chris and I have talked about it before, but I do really think it's about perspective. I think a good designer, their job is basically to be trying to keep everything in their line of sight and make sure things are all connected and functioning and working in harmony. And I think, that's not necessarily, a skill you either have or you don't, but I think the role of a designer, they should be sitting in that for a long time. Like, you kind of need to be really used to looking at things from that perspective. That's when you can sort of start to have a lot of those moments in design where things start clicking and you start seeing this connected web instead of individual elements. And so I guess it's like, I think anyone can do it, but it's important to have it as a role so that you can have a group of people who are constantly in that state and they're closer to finding the connections.
I don't necessarily agree that anyone can do it. I've certainly got friends who are very, very uncreative and are quite upfront with their lack of creativity. So I'm not sure that anyone can actually, just anyone can do it. I think there is both a what would you call it? A potential. So like having the sort of potential, and then building on that as well, and refining that skill and that ability. Yeah.
Yeah, I think, I don't know, I guess for me, I feel like, yeah, you can definitely have like an affinity for it. You definitely have people who are, whether they're grown up or the genetics just lend themselves that way. But I don't know, I feel like I've been seeing so many good tools and resources and ways to think in a design process that to me, it's starting to feel like you kind of have to actively not want to engage to not be able to even do start thinking with that designing perspective.
Okay, I think that's one of the questions that's coming up.
Uh-oh.
So hold that thought. So this is the other one I come up with as well, and I guess we've touched on this, but more. This is not just random people. These are comments that I've had from people high up in gaming studios that I've talked to over the years, and that's programming skills are more important than game design skills in game development. I've had people saying they would not employ someone who did not have programming skills, even in a design role.
Yeah, right.
Any thoughts?
It would help to have a bit of programming knowledge to sort of give a estimation on how long it might take to do your ideas. But I mean, from a programmer's perspective, you can code the most sort of elegant code solutions in the world, but if it's not fun, it's not fun.
But my code's beautiful. Why do you not like my game? It's
It runs so smoothly.
yeah, it's so well optimized. It's like, surely you're gonna love it.
Yeah, no, I completely disagree with this statement. I mean, like, it rings true if you want a bit more job security. Just as you were saying, that the people higher up saying they would more likely hire someone with programming skills over just game development. But I know, just as you said, Sam, plenty of programmers who have made games, and I've tested them for them, and I'm just like, you haven't, like, there's no design in this. I can see some mechanics that plays well, but yeah, there's the design, I guess, is where that fun comes in. It's game development is a marriage of both of these skills that are as important as each other.
So these are games that, I mean, who are these people that, like, are these just random people
Yeah.
that you?
You want me to throw some people in the fire?
No, I don't. But I guess you've played their games. I mean, I'm just kind of wondering where they've come from. They're just sort of randos that have, hey, I'm going to
No,
make
just
a
like,
game.
you know,
or-
people I've through my time at uni.
Okay.
you
So
know,
people learning. I mean, that's
people
fair enough.
learning, exactly.
Yeah,
And you can really identify someone who has, you know, that affinity for a design or
Yeah.
making an experience versus someone who's just like really good at coding and may not be able to see that bigger picture of why it's not, in this case, fun, which is totally fine as well, which is why both disciplines are needed.
Mm. Fraser, I've
I
got to,
do-
I've got to jump to you and say, I mean, what's your thoughts?
I do think you could argue that like technically programming skills are more important purely from like a logical point of you can, if you have programming skills and no design skills, you might get lucky and accidentally make a fun game. But I don't think I've ever known a designer who accidentally managed to program something.
Accidentally programmed a game.
Yeah.
Whoops.
But I mean, that's then we're talking about, you know, what does it mean to be more or less important? I think, yeah, definitely both are helpful. And, you know, I think it goes both ways, right? Like, it's really helpful as a designer to know, to have programming skills, even for me if it's in Blueprints, because I can test my own ideas and prototype. And like you said, Sam, you know, like I have a better idea of how my ideas are going to flesh out, how long they might take, and that sort of stuff. And in the same way, I assume like a programmer probably could benefit from having some design skill because they might know how to, you know, interpret a design document better, or be able to be, you know, have a little bit of insight into some of the choices that are being made, or they might need to make. So
Absolutely.
I think you hit the nail on the head there for me, and I think as a designer, I think you have to have at least prototyping skills. Now, if that means blueprints in Unreal Engine or some other visual scripting, you have to be able to test your ideas. You have to be able to, you know, put some kind of prototype together to sort of see whether things work. So when it comes to programming, I don't think every designer needs to be a programmer, but I think every designer needs to have at least enough knowledge to put together some kind of prototype to test their ideas.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's like management positions, you know, good leadership roles have good base understanding of each section that they're overlooking, so they can sort of better manage it and, you know, handle timelines and understand how things go together.
Yep. Yeah, there's definitely that side as well. So Fraser, again, just, I mean, tell me the story about how you learnt how to do your blueprint scripting. What motivated you to do that? And we've got Crash Test Butters here. Hey,
Welcome.
welcome.
Hey, welcome back.
Hello.
Yeah, so I at Torrens Uni, being a part of the game design course, most of the other students I spent a lot of time with in class and on assignments was other game design students. So when it came time to making a game prototype, all of the people I knew I worked well with were all other designers, no programmers. So it was mostly just out of desperation and, you know, making that it was sort of a choice in, do I want a group who I know I can communicate with and will get along with, or do I want a group that's more balanced for skills but will maybe ghost me a few weeks in, or be unresponsive when this deadline comes
Ooh.
up. So it was just a bit of a sink or swim moment where I was like, well, somebody's got to do the programming. I might as well give it a go.
So there's things I want to dive into there, which are really interesting. But so you didn't have any programming skills at that time. How did you find? What did you do first? Tell me. Yeah, okay. What was the first thing you did?
Mm-hmm. So technically, I mean, I have a background in maths from high school, and I have always had an interest in like computer science. So I know, the sort of like very, very fundamental ideas of programming in the sense of how a computer interprets code and, how you sort of need to structure things. But yeah, I mean, going in, it was a case of I did a 2-person project where the other person was working in Construct, which is another Blueprints program.
Mm-hmm.
And I was having all ideas on how to, small things we could add or change to this little project to make it more engaging. And they were like, wait, what do you mean? How do I do that? And I'm on the Discord call pointing at things. I'm like, I think if you put this in here. And so, yeah, I kind of got lucky when then in the next project, I was like, well, I felt like I knew what I was doing from the other side of a Discord call. So I might as well pick it up and have a go. And then, yeah, Blueprints just had a sort of connection with
your designer brain. Is that a good way
Yeah.
to put it? Yeah. I mean, I have to say, I think I've said this to you guys multiple times, but I certainly see designers designers and artists both warming more to visual scripting, which is what Blueprints is. Blueprints is a type of visual scripting in Unreal, compared to programmers. There seems to be something to do with the way that people think that makes visual scripting far more accessible to them. So I just to sort of I'm interested to know. So after doing starting that visual scripting stuff, like how difficult was it to do, and how difficult was it when you first started out?
Yeah, I mean, thinking back to Construct, the benefit for that was that it was all 2D. So, with one fewer dimensions, there's, a bit of a lighter load.
Mm-hmm.
It was tough though, understanding just like how things lay out. It's one thing to understand what a node does and, when you'd use it, but like figuring out how to connect it and actually make it function was another thing. But I think because I started in Construct, which was quite simpler, more approachable, the next few months later, when I said I would do the programming in Unreal Engine, it was a decent step from one to the next.
Okay. And how did you find that process of learning Blueprints in Unreal Engine?
It is sometimes really good and sometimes really bad.
Okay, fair enough.
Sometimes things are really well documented, or there's lots of really comprehensive guides and tutorials on YouTube, and sometimes there's one page of documentation which doesn't even reflect the actual information I'm looking at in my editor.
I think Sam and Charlie would probably agree that that's an experience we all have. No?
Yeah.
You've had those experiences where, I mean, some things, yeah, sure, they're all, it's all nicely there. You go to a website, you just copy and paste the code. Yeah, no worries, there it is. Then you have to do something yourself. It's a bit hard. It gets harder.
Even
I was thinking more of like documentation. I feel like I'm always coming up against trying to go to the documentation. It's either just not updated or it's just wrong.
Well, they change game engines so often, like both Unreal and Unity. I mean, I've done the same with when I did some Unity stuff, and I don't have a lot of experience in Unity. And like depending on the version you bloody have, like it's different. So that's one of the challenges I think in any IT thing, but particularly games, because there's a new version coming out every month or two, it seems. Then that's a real challenger. That's a real challenge. I did want to. Oh, sorry. You guys go.
Sorry, I was just gonna say I do feel like with Unreal though, sometimes like with Arvo, we've been working a lot with the Chaos Vehicle Blueprint, which has been a nightmare. And then we started a new project this week, and it's using the buoyancy and the experimental water stuff. And Chaos Vehicles has been a nightmare. The buoyancy water stuff has been really straightforward. And so I'm like, sometimes it feels like it's just some stuff is just more put together.
That may be the
Yeah,
case.
absolutely.
Yeah.
You see, saying you're using buoyancy systems to move the car around.
No, so we started a new project, which is setting is sort of you're on a boat in the ocean, and
Oh,
so
okay.
yeah, playing around with like actual uses for buoyancy. Although it
Yeah,
has made
cool.
me tempted to see if I can use buoyancy on the car because it just was
Hey,
so
it
much
might work.
easier.
All right. So
Right-
that's
right
kind of
above
really
this.
interesting.
No, sorry, continue. That was a
Yeah, no, I was just
All
saying
of
that's
us.
quite interesting. The other one I wanted, so as a game designer, my job involves, I get, Sam and Charlie, I mean, do you guys consider yourselves to be game designers in any way? I mean, you have both created games. I don't know, Sam, you created
Yeah.
a game by yourself from scratch, so I don't think you had anyone designing that with you.
I think it does involve like some lived experiences and ideas that stem from those.
Okay.
It's a hard sort of thing to put to words because it is a way of thinking, like abstract thinking, which you can have. Like going into it, I had an idea. I wanted it to be set in an office space. And I wasn't sure if it was going to be sort of like you had the stock standard sci-fi feel, which, I tried out and it didn't really feel right. So it was through a process of, evolving the idea until it felt fun for me, and then I tested it and the feedback came back, sort of confirmed that the vision I had was working.
Okay. So you had the idea and you just basically put it together and it happened.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you, Charlie? Because I don't know whether you've designed games from scratch yourself.
Yeah, well, it's funny. I actually consider myself a designer more than a programmer.
Ooh.
I sort of went into uni originally going to the game designer course, but I kind of suspected that my journey would be a bit of a solitary one, considering I didn't know anyone who wanted to play games, and I was like, well, I'll probably need the skill to actually put my ideas together. So that's why I chose the game programming side, and I actually worked with my uni to for them to allow me to do a lot more of the design units, as well as like allowing me to get a degree in software engineering. Bit of a mess around, but to my point is I am more of a visual thinker and whatnot, and I do struggle with the small nitty gritty things where I talk to my programmer friends now who are really good at these little things, and I always need the bigger picture, larger structure of how these systems are working, which is not always easily answered. But now I feel like I'm middling a nice area. Like I'm not super great at design, nor am I super great at programming at this point, but I am getting a really solid understanding of each, which I'm pretty happy with my progress there. So if someone were to ask me if like what do, I just sort of like I'm a game developer. I design and I program.
Okay, that's very interesting. That's really, really interesting. Fraser, I think you're going to have more to say here. As a game designer, my job involves.
Yeah, I mean, right now it's mostly just wondering why I ever think that I can scope a project appropriately.
You're wondering why
Always
you
gets out
think
of
you
hand.
can. Oh, that's a skill. That's a skill. That's That's what a producer does. So
Yeah.
you just need to find a good producer who sits next to you and slaps you on the hand, says, no, we're not
Yeah.
doing that. We're not doing that. No, we're not doing that. Yeah.
So yeah, a lot of like inflating scope at an exponential rate, a lot of concepting, analyzing, prototyping, Reading, it's like summing it up. I feel like it's very much like you spend half your time directly actually working on the game, implementing changes and tweaks and working on things, and then you have to spend the other half of your time like analyzing playtest information, thinking from a player's point of view, you know, assessing if the player experience is meeting the intended one, and then also I feel like you kind of need to be consuming information and inspiration from other sources. The biggest influences on my design course has been things like wayfinding,
Yeah, you've mentioned it a
navigation
few times.
in real world environments.
We're going to have to get you to do a little session on wayfinding because I've never looked at it, to be honest. So, yeah.
Yeah, but I think it's those two halves combining. I feel like that's what my job is most of the time when I'm not actually just programming, which takes up 80% of my total time, I think.
Programming?
Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
Just trying to understand how to make the concept that I've thought of.
So let me throw this next one to you as well. So there are some really good tools for designing games. For example, Fraser, what are the things you use most? I know you do use some tools.
Miro is my go-to, like an online whiteboard where I can put anything and everything. I need to be able to zoom all the way out and see everything that I've had, or zoom all the way in on something. To another extent, like Hack and Plan can be helpful, but that's less designing and more so giving myself the time to design. Add notebooks and pens and highlighters, sticky notes, chewing gum. I don't know if that counts.
Chewing gum? What do you do with chewing gum?
I chew it so that I don't think about getting up and making myself food, and I can focus.
Oh. Okay, chewing gum. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, and otherwise, I think inspiration is another really important thing. I have a shocking memory, so I'm trying to write more when I play games. I should be doing it more than I am. And things like PureRef, really handy for collating visual inspiration.
PureRef.
And then
what's
books. PureRef, it's a... I don't know. Do you guys use PureRef? Do you have a better...
Yeah, it's just like a little like overlay box that you can have and display anywhere on your computer. So you can set it to, you know, overlay something that would full screen you or whatever. And you can sort of just drag and drop images into to create mood boards, I guess.
Oh, okay.
It's a really good... Yeah, it's just a really simple and nice tool to... especially when you're trying to reference something in your drawings, or you know, you're trying to match a specific vibe, you can just have it overlaid on your screen up somewhere, and yeah.
It's when I'm doing like vibey things, I really enjoy getting as many images as I can, laying them all out in PureRef, and then I was sort of like a sort of word cloud. You know, I'll have a few key words, and then I'll sort of shift the images to sort of float in between there, depending on where they fit. And it's a good way to sort of, you know, it's not just one-for-one visual inspiration, but it's also like almost like a train of thought, or like a good way to be like, oh, if I've got like this aspect, you know, maybe it's like a graffiti style gameplay mechanic, what kind of fits with that? And then I can look at environmental stuff, or I can look at, you know, fashion, or I can look at other mechanics which are similar depending on what I need inspiration for.
Are we still talking about PureRef?
Yeah, I use it as that sort of organizing tool. It's kind of like if I was in an office space, I guess I would just have a printer and scissors and then like a pinup board, but
right,
save paper, I suppose.
Can I get you to do us a demo of PureRef in the next couple of weeks or so?
Yeah,
I've never seen it, so it sounds fascinating.
Yeah, I mean, what I love is you can right click and see all the different boards you have saved, so I can even show some of the boards I've made before for things.
Yeah, well, let's do it maybe next week. That'd be really good.
Yeah, sure.
I'd really like to see that. Yeah, I've never come across that. There you go. I'm glad I put that question down. So some really good. So this is the thing. Like, we don't talk about this very much, even in the course. Like, what are the tools that we should be using?
Yeah, that was one I think I picked up from one of the 3D design classes. because they
Interesting.
can
Okay.
use it for obviously inspo, but also you can like half opacity it and lay it over your screen, and it can just stay there. Like you can pin it to the top, so
Okay.
it's a really versatile tool.
All right. Well, yeah. If you can do a demo next week, that'd be really good. I might start using that as well.
Yeah.
Cool. So I do want to throw it to Sam and Charlie. Good tools for designing games. You guys have anything we haven't talked about so far?
My brain. I guess I'm really old school with mine. I just write thoughts out when I sort of hone in on an idea.
This-
I will just
So like
write and write and write and write.
this kind of
It,
yeah, and a pen.
yes, yeah.
It's always sitting
Exactly.
here. This is always sitting here for me.
It does get hard because then I need to go through and then manage thoughts and then piece things together. But
Of course.
I really should be using better tools, but I just use like Google Docs a whole lot.
Google
Google
Docs.
Sheets.
Yeah.
It's accessible from all my devices when I have a thought or if I need to like work on a mechanic or something. It's all
Mhm.
there.
Yep.
Agree.
Do you know even?
I'm still trying to piece together my tool set of what I actually use, but that's just what I fall back on a lot.
Cool. Sam, do you use any particular that we haven't talked about?
Well, similar to Charlie, I just have a notepad to the right of my desk, which has all the programming problems I've got and where I jot down all my ideas. Apart from that, it's usually, going for walks, having ideas in the shower, and sometimes drives around just to have the weird abstract thoughts just come into my head, and if they're still with me when I get home, it's like write it down.
Mm.
I
Yeah,
agree
I
with
know
that one. Yeah, and my boss never agreed with me. I've got to go for a walk to solve this problem. Get back to your desk and keep working. Yeah. Yeah, it's one of the challenges. Cool. That's actually really good. That's a really interesting question to ask. We want just those tools. So the next one's a little controversial. Studying game design is really useful for getting into the games industry.
Is it?
Silence.
Can anyone?
Silence.
Is-
Absolute silence.
Did I do something wrong? Is it? Did I miss my
Well,
chance?
like it's like what does that mean? I guess it's sort of framed as the same. Programming skills are more important than game design kind of area.
Well, it's along those lines, but I guess this is another one that I hear as well. Is like it's pointless to study game design, particularly game design. I hear this again and again and again, and it's like, but again, mostly from you can sort of hardcore coders, I guess, but sort of saying that game design, is a waste of time. But look, to be honest, I do know many students who have graduated with game design skills from game design courses who cannot find work. So, to be fair,
There was the IGEA summit not that long ago, and one of the speakers was saying, I think it really does come down to the individual. Like if you're a hotshot game designer and you can demonstrate to employers that you know how to generate good ideas and you know how to sort of execute them to pitch.
hang on. This is the guy who was telling me that the ideas guy was the worst game design guy. Hang on, what are you talking about? Just ideas? Don't you? How do you demonstrate that you're a good game designer?
Well, by prototyping and
Here we go. Prototyping. Yeah.
and being able to show off your ideas to people
Mhm.
who can evaluate and see if they're any good or not.
So, I mean, to me, it kind of comes back to this one about the tools, because you've got to have something to show. If you're going for a job, it's like, well, I just have good ideas. Like, wow, okay, yeah, that's great to hear. But you want to show them that you can put together those ideas in a form that can then be translated into an actual game, isn't it? So, in in some way, or prototypes as well, you know, to create prototypes. Which really, I don't know that you can really do prototypes without some kind of scripting. Visual scripting is absolutely fine, but if you want to create prototypes, you do need to have some coding skills, no?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I could have created anything that I've made without having those skills and that sort of familiarity.
I mean, I think you probably. I mean, how many other students that graduated with you can also do blueprints, Fraser?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, in the personal group that I worked with, I think it's just me and Gemma. Not to say, you know, I think if you're serious about design, it's not that you can't pick it up. It's just, and I think one of the issues I found studying game design, on one half, it feels like the course kind of only got so far as, oh yeah, this is the game design course, and a lot of the units were just ripped from other courses to try and make up the full one. There's sort of a lack of an understanding of what game design is, let alone how we can teach it. But also then, sort of counter to that, there was a lot of this weird push of like, oh, you need to have a programmer in your team. And it's like, okay, well, there's 3 programmers in a class of 20.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
There's literally not enough to go around. So
Having this exact problem right at the moment in one of my classes.
And I'm like, I don't understand. Like, it's so clear to me now on the other side of it. It's like, oh, having those basic programming skills in like visual scripting or whatever is so handy to have as a designer. It's weird that it wasn't pushed more. Like, we did 1 or 2 classes where you had to program, but then even then I'm like, wait, did we, or were those electives? But I feel like, yeah, just the general attitude as well was just like counter to kind of, I think, what good advice would be.
Yes. Yeah, I must admit, some type. We probably should be pushing design students to do blueprints or some sort of visual scripting. I think that should
come up with your own design and then actually have a go at implementing it into a game environment. It's because it's like that's going to be your bread and butter, right?
Yeah. Again, prototype. You've got to be able to come up with something, even if it's not going to be your final game. You've got to be able to show off what it is that you want your programmers to do. You may do just a basic unoptimized version of it, but then you just hand it off to your coders, and they're like, okay, that's what you want. I'll get in there. I'll do what I need to do for the optimization of it. Put it into a good. It's a good code. Yeah. So even
selfishly, like as a designer, I don't want to have to come up with a design concept, hand it off to a programmer, wait for them to bring it back to me. Like, there's waiting time there. There's also all the potential for misinterpretation. Like, selfishly, it's so much better and easier for me to do a few rounds of prototyping first and then give something that has, you've already crossed the first few pitfalls without wasting time and without getting anyone confused.
Yes.
And that's where like half the magic is for me. It's just the experimenting at the start, having an idea and go, will this work?
Yeah.
And then, floundering around a bit, trying to get it to work. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, this is a bit of a revelation for me as well. Like, we're just going through this and talking about it. It's like, yeah, okay, this is very true. Game designers need to have some kind of scripting ability. No two ways about it. So I might put together a course, blueprints for game designers. How's that sound?
Yeah.
So the
Go
final
off.
Blank for dummies.
the final one that I thought we'd touch on, because I've put some negative stuff here, but I think it was really, like, it's really important. What do they call it? Steel manning, and so those people who are saying game designers are a waste of time. I wanted to sort of really explore that, and it's like, I mean, I think maybe if you just do if you study game design and you don't have any prototyping skills, maybe it is a waste of time. I don't know. I'd hate to say that, but you know, I think having those sort of prototyping skills, those basic scripting skills, is an idea. So I mean, and now, so if we look at, you know, with that in mind, architecture, which I think is quite similar. Obviously, architecture goes back a very long time. In fact, 500 years. No, sorry, more than that, 2,000 years. So there was the oldest architecture text is from a Roman architect in the 1st century AD, if I remember correctly. So a couple of thousand years worth of development compared to game design, which goes back to the 80s or 90s maybe. So the difference between these two, because both of them require working with engineers. So if you're an architect, you're working with a structural engineer to make sure your building doesn't fall down. If you're a game designer, you're working with software engineers who make sure your game doesn't fall apart and can be built.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's apt. It's I mean, yeah, I brought it up earlier without even knowing it was at the end of this, because I think it is a really good. There's very good analogies between the two.
What are the tools that architects use? So we're talking about things like prototyping. You know, what are the tools that architects have at their fingertips that they use to convey their ideas?
The classic stuff is all your like miniature scale stuff, right? Or your small scale crafting stuff, glue and wooden dowels and string and plastic.
Classically, for sure, that's been around for a long time, just making little miniatures.
And that's I think there's Kojima behind the scenes stuff for Metal Gear, where Kojima was using like Lego blocks to space out rooms. For like the stealth and stuff. I guess I'm not trying to find the similarities. I'm trying to find the differences.
That's all right. And blueprints as well. Don't forget, blueprints have been around for a very long time. So architectural blueprints as well. We haven't even mentioned, obviously, more recently. There's also the oh goodness me. CAD, computer aided design. So there's quite a lot. I mean, it's interesting how in architecture you just it really easy. And I'm not an architect, but I can really easily just reel these different tools off the top of my head. I can't do that for game design, and I teach game design.
I think the thinking of it as well, I find, is really similar. Like the idea of an architect, they need they care that the building is going to stand up, but they want to create something that is more than just a structure. You're trying to, embody emotion and, assist the people inside it to use it functionally. You're trying to make it pretty. And, at the end of the day, they are reliant on their team of engineers and others who can make sure what can be made reality is, and what can't doesn't get built. Yeah. And it's the same, I think, a lot of the times, or at least in a very good working relationship with game designers, where I think we mentioned it earlier, right? Like a game designer should kind of be pushing the box as far as it can, and you have to rely on your team to say, hang on, this isn't going to work, or you know what, maybe we can make this work. Let's figure out how to do it, or how we can change it to make it fit, whether that's scope or budget or software limits.
Yeah. Anyone else?
I guess I'm seeing that what you're saying is there is some distinct tools, like in this relationship of architect and engineer, there is clear tools that architects use and that's widely accepted across the discipline, versus the game design side is we don't really have a centralized, a bunch of tools that we all agree on. We all use sorts of different things, and it's sort of, I guess it's less refined in that sense. Well, it might be because games do, every building has certain rules you need to stick to, where games are kind of a bit more abstract. I guess, the rules are you need the software and the hardware, but what happens in between is all over the place. So maybe there isn't sort of great game design tools that fits every situation.
Mm-hmm. Did you want to say anything, Sam?
I mean, it's already really been covered. Like the architects do the designing part to make like a beautiful building, but they do need the engineers who dedicate themselves to the boring stuff to make sure it's feasible.
Mm-hmm.
And the same goes for game design. The people to estimate if it'll how long it'll take and what you need to do to get to the end product.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Cool. Okay. Well,
The
let me.
relationship is interesting there, right? Sorry to cut you off, but
Yeah, that's
the like you said, architecture's been around for thousands of years,
Mm-hmm.
and there's this really well understood relationship between the architect and the engineers, and yet they still, I feel like classically the architects still sort of get all the same similar criticisms that game designers get, even though game design is such a newer field, right?
Well, let me throw something back at you though. Like, you probably know some names of some very famous architects. Do you know the names of some the engineers who worked on those same things?
Yeah. No, not at all. I couldn't name a single, honestly.
Hmm. You probably also know some very famous game designers. Do you know the programmers, the engineers who helped them out? Who's Kojima's chief engineer?
Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't name an engineer, that's for sure.
Kind of interesting. There's a bit of a strange dichotomy there with the creative world. So it's like if you succeed, you do really well. It's like you get your household name. If you don't, tough luck. I mean, you don't have a job, maybe. So that sort of thing. So I did before we want to finish up. I did want to show you basically what I'm working on. So because this is, here we go. So this is what I'm actually working on for my PhD. Now, Fraser, you have seen this before. I don't think Charlie has seen it. And Sam, I don't know whether I've
No, I
shown
haven't
this to
seen
you.
this.
So this is, the sort of stuff I'm working on. I'm doing a PhD in game design. So this question of what the hell is game design is kind of relevant, We'll have a look at this one, Silent Hills PT, because it's quite nicely sort of put together. So what this is basically just a wiki. It's in Confluence, so those Atlassian fanboys will know Confluence. There's a few. yeah. I thought you guys might be Atlassian fanboys. Atlassian was put together as a software engineering set of tools.
Right.
Sorry,
okay.
Fraser.
I thought I was going crazy for a second there. Why does everyone else know this? I didn't know this until you showed me.
If you don't like Jira, you probably won't like this. So I know Sam uses Jira. I'm not sure about Charlie. But anyway, so I just want to.
I've used it professionally, but I don't jump to it.
Okay. But so this is sort of what I put together, and the whole idea here. There's a lot to it. We're not going to cover it today. Fraser and I have been through it in some depth about sort of how it works. But so this is sort of a top level of Silent Hills PT. We've got sort of describing it and what have you, and you can see the different parts of it. So sort of going into some depth. There is a lot of text there. There's a lot of images, a lot of text, etc. Kind of the game characters, the different game characters we've got there. But one of the big parts really is this concept of player experiences, which I've got down here. So if we look at like the Silent Hills, the player experiences here, so the photo puzzle experience, for instance, there's one area there where you've got to go around. It's quite well known if you know Silent Hills PT, where you find the photo hanging on the wall. It's been torn apart, and you're going to go find all the different parts of the photo within that. So within the game, so there is just a diagram here, but also a description. So at the highest level, you've got the player experience description. But then you can go down and you can go into our child actors, which are below there. And this is where the sort of diagrams get in there that are sort of getting towards. So you're going from the description of the player experience, which is very fuzzy, like, you know, you talk about emotions and all these sort of things. Whereas, how do you build that sort of thing? So at this level, you know, we've got our actor relationship diagram, and then we've also got an actor interaction diagram. And we can, in fact, go into more of this. So we can go down to a lower level as well. So the actual photo frame, how does that work? So as a coder, you know, you could get the detail you're looking for. And if you've done any database programming, which I have done, you might notice the old relationship diagrams here, but then also the frame, the interactions. So you can work at this level. So from a coding point of view, you've got this sort of level of detail here, which is what you need certainly when you're building something. But also, not only that, if you're down here and you're like, well, a question comes up. This has happened to me before. I've worked as a programmer in various sort of capacities. And there's times when it's like, there's a question. I've got a question, you know, like and I have to. This question has to be answered for me to keep going and to finish what I'm working on, an app or whatever it happens to be, or a game. But you know, and you might ask, you know, it's not in the documentation that you can find here. You ask, you know, maybe your team leader or something, and they don't know. Or then you try and get to the designer, someone who's actually designed it, and of course, for whatever reason, they're not available to have it. But what you can do here as well is you can sort of go up the different levels, so you can sort of see so we've still got the detail here, but you can in fact go back to the sort of highest level where it's described from a player experience point of view. So you can actually get a better idea of what it's supposed to be. So if you're a coder and you're programming it and you can't get anyone to actually like answer those questions, you can make a better, a more informed decision, for instance. So yeah, so this sort of stuff I'm putting together. It's a very, very quick overview.
And this highlights I think the good side of game design, just like you say. But as a programmer, like for me, how I was saying, sort of, I feel like I'm a bit of a mixture of both. Like stuff like this excites me because I can read exactly the relationship between what the feeling is and then what the mechanics are down there, and I can read through that, and then I can go, oh, awesome! I can actually visualize how this should be coded.
Yeah.
So it does create a really clear pathway.
Yeah, yeah, and ideally, you know, over time, you get these sort of player experiences. You know, you could put these into some sort of library, and you know, you're doing your design. You say, okay, I want that, and that, put them together, and you've got all of this documentation available without actually having to do a lot. You can then go and refine it, you know, make it your own. So, for instance, you know, even sort of walking through a door, depending on what you're doing. Did I do the door? I didn't do the door one here. Oh, okay. So in Silent Hills PT, walking through a door, you actually sort of just walk up against the door and push it open, and it has a particular experience to it. It does have a particular feel to it. Whereas, say, going into, say, Rust or something like that, where they have door camping, let's call it door camping. So interacting with your door in a game like Rust compared to Silent Hills PT or many other games, very different. You know, and there's some very small things that can happen which will change that feeling completely. So this is the sort of thing this is what I was talking about before when I didn't mention on stream, but I mentioned before stream about going through 7 Days to Die and going through the whole analyzing that and documenting it. So to be using this type of format to do that documentation, which I think I will do.
Oh.
It's going to take me a while. There's a lot to do. But yeah, looking at doing that. So there's a brief overview. Anyway, yeah,
fantastic.
Is that Guillermo del Toro?
Yeah, he was he was involved in Silent Hills PT.
Two heavy hitter names.
Mm.
Oh yeah, but he worked. Guillermo del Toro also worked on Death Stranding. He's in it. He's a character in it.
He's in
Have you
it,
played
yeah.
it? Have you played
Yeah,
it,
I've played
Sam?
it.
Sam?
A bit of the first one. I mean,
Did-
there's so much overlap between the movie industry and the game industry.
Well, there is now. Yeah,
Yeah, especially with Kojima.
yeah, yeah. They're definitely pushing it. I think Kojima wants to be a filmmaker. But yeah, Guillermo del Toro definitely. Yeah, he's doing some good stuff. So we might wrap that up there. We've taken a while. We've only about half an hour left, and we need to go to the next section. What do we have up next? We have some more games, don't we? From
Yeah. I threw a couple out there that I know of. I don't know how much we were able to pull from it, but
Do you want to? Who's? Are we going to play through these?
well, we can't play through Gubbins because it's a mobile game,
Okay.
and then I have Key Fairy downloaded, so I'm happy to share screen for that.
Okay. So do you want to do that?
Very-
Okay.
So I might, if you want to share your screen, I might throw it over to you for a second because I'm going to go and visit the bathroom because that
Yeah, sure.
coffee is pretty quickly hit me.
I think it's
Ooh,
launching.
you've got an animated background.
Yeah, moving
Yeah.
background. Distracting.
Goodness me. Okay, you guys go ahead. I'm just going to. I'll be back in just a second.
Oh, I might have launched it twice by accident. But yeah, so there you go. Screen Australia. That might be a bit loud. I'm turning it down. But yeah, so Key Fairy is another grant recipient of, I believe, the Games Production Fund. This is one Gemini found and quite liked the visual style of. But we haven't had a chance to play the demo, or at least I haven't. But the visual style is just so compelling. So mouse and keyboard should be fine. I guess I'll just give it a go.
The who did this option?
Yeah.
For credits, I like that.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, awesome. Very unique straight off the bat.
Mm-hmm. Their website is also another one for, like, you know, it's all again in style. It's very, very compelling.
Cool, yeah.
Oh, interesting. It's very floaty movement. Hello? Oh.
Okay, going under the trees. Dance amongst the keys.
So, like, I can hold, and then when I let go, you glide for quite a while. It's like I'm on ice. Okay.
Interesting. Yeah, well, it's like the characters dancing along, aren't they?
Yeah. Oh, I am Key Fairy. Do you know that you can grapple using the left mouse button?
What's a left mouse button?
Oh, I feel bad. Oh, interesting.
Oh, is that pull you along, does it?
Yeah. So that's got, yeah, like grapple. I don't even. Although
Don't
I'm
even need to
stuck
move.
to something.
Interesting perspective.
Oh, I see.
So this is another one. When did this get funded?
I'm not 100%.
Did it say
Maybe last
2024 on it when it started up? Or maybe I'm imagining that.
No, that'd be my guess.
No sound.
Oh, am I not showing sound? Apologies. Share stream audio. There we go. It's very twinkly.
Ah, there we go, yeah.
It's quite nice. Behind this gate, they're creatures lost in darkness. Oh no. Evade them and collect their broken stars that they may be free. I can do this.
This is very different from the games you looked at last week.
Yeah. Hello. Oh dear.
Oh, okay, that red effect. Battle
Oh,
effect.
interesting.
Yeah, that's a bit of a struggle for my eyes.
Oh dear. Oh dear. I'm not very competent.
You guys don't
So
like
I'm-
the red?
Oh no, it's just like the doubling up of
Oh,
I guess the visuals. It's
Huh?
interesting. It's an interesting effect.
and then this
What's
guy's chill now.
what's your goal here? Oh, you collected his stars and he calms down.
I guess I'm a bit more sensitive to visual stuff sometimes.
Right. Yeah, I was wondering whether, because I don't really find it a problem. This is so different. This is like an art game.
Hmm.
This is
Yeah,
more of what I
this is-
expected actually from Screen Australia.
This is interesting. I did notice when I was reading that it's pacifist, so you're trying to help the enemies rather than just hurting them.
Mm-hmm. You're trying to help the
Matches
enemies.
Yeah.
What's that? So you kill yourself instead of having them kill you. I help you out a bit.
So this
That
last,
last guy was really angry, wasn't he? And that now he's
Yeah,
chill because
and as you pick up the stars, it chills them out, and now we can chat.
Right.
The
This is
the
kind of
grapple
weird,
is
isn't it?
interesting. I wonder if this would be better with the controller.
I feel like it would be harder with the controller because you would have to have like a radial thing. Oh, but then again, it might be easier because you're always centered and you just go left and right. Does your mouse position not update as you move around?
Yeah. Oh dear.
I do
So-
actually really like the red coming in for like sort of the battle scenes.
Is it battle scenes or is it just aggro? You've got to de-aggro this guy.
Aggro scene, yeah, de-aggro.
Yeah.
There we go. The darkness is an abyss, just a shelter of leaves.
The artwork is a bit too busy for me. I think
Mm.
it'd be nice if they pull back a little bit on the, at least the animation. So you've got the trees animating, you've got all those, it's hard to focus. It's, you know, it's breaking that main rule where you should be able to focus.
Yeah.
It is, I
feel
mean,
like
that's
the
one of the
static-
fundamental
static
rules. You know?
objects should probably have less traffic in their
Yes.
visuals.
Yes.
Like the tree trunks and stuff like that.
Oh dear, oh dear.
Oh, look at
It
this.
is-
Goodness me.
Oh,
It is-
okay, so that's the darkness encroaching in, is it?
It's no, it's quite compelling. I'm really quite enjoying the gameplay.
What's compelling about it? What are you finding compelling?
The fluidity. So like,
Mhm.
if I hold left, I let go, and I keep going for quite a while.
Oh, okay.
And when I'm not holding movement key, but when I grapple, I get pulled. Oh well, if I don't go into a conversation, I get pulled, and so like there's a fun balance to. It's really kind of like ice skating in a way, but with that grapple, it's really dynamic. Okay, I'll look for a key,
Forage for a key in the woods.
and I think I know what you mean. Oh, nice. Look at that. I know what you mean. Like it is really, really busy.
Yeah, it is.
I have a
It's
bed.
very busy.
It's tough though because I love it. I love how busy it is, but also I'm like, yeah. What about the people that just can't deal with this? It's just too much going on. You lose, people from having that experience.
I'm struggling a bit with the white on black.
Oh yeah. Is it really crisp for you, Fraser, or like I'm just
It
wondering if I'm
is.
losing a lot of detail in the stream? Yeah.
Yeah, it's quite crisp. I was hoping that I'm paying for Discord Nitro, so I'd hope it would be not too bad. But I guess all this, like these tiny little bits, is just awful for video compression, right?
Yeah,
Yes,
and I think
yeah.
that's just what's
Oh.
happening.
Oh dear.
Ooh. A game made around an avoidance mechanic.
Yeah, the idea of like
That's
a
interesting.
pacifist bullet hell. I was
Yeah,
like,
you
that
just
is compelling.
Miss Bullet Hell.
Yeah. And this dialogue is really
Yeah,
interesting.
the whole vibe and art direction in the sense of
Honestly,
dialogue and how the creatures are, saying what they're saying is really I don't know, I like it. Nice.
I really like how it's very non-committal dialogue as well. I feel like every other dialogue box I've ever encountered, once you're in it, you're in it. But the idea that you can just be
Mm,
like, meh, I'm just gonna walk away, and they're like, okay.
yeah. I don't know if you guys played Cyberpunk, but that was like the best dialogue system I've ever
Yeah,
experienced. So nice to be able to like free form move around and have a conversation.
yeah.
Hey, just to go back a little bit to our previous conversation, there was a comment in YouTube about. Remember we were talking about famous game designers and famous engineers.
Hmm.
John Carmack. How do we forget John Carmack from id
Mm.
Software? Yes. So
John Carmack, yeah.
there are some famous programmers. Yes. We mentioned him I think last week as well.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. How could we forget?
Who is talking to me? The star?
Where is the star?
Oh,
Oh, in the middle. Okay, yep. There
yeah.
we go. There's some suffering of that busy, the busyness of it.
Froggy.
So this is just the demo,
Yeah.
yeah? This is just the demo.
Yeah, this is just the demo.
Okay.
Highly recommend. I'm really quite enjoying this.
It
Uh-oh.
must be the playing, because
Oh.
to be honest, looking at it, I'm just like, I'm overwhelmed with the busyness.
Yeah.
You don't find it so busy? Is it because you're focusing on your little avatar there?
Yeah, I think having that avatar to focus on is really helpful.
Hmm.
I feel like I would really enjoy the look of it if there wasn't any video like compression, because I feel like there's a lot of edges that are not crisp,
Right. Yeah, you might
which
be
makes it
correct.
harder to look at because it is so base. Like the base of it is so busy.
Oh dear.
And then these things come in as well.
And then you get the hearts back. Yeah.
The dialogue system reminds me of Monty Python a bit with the
Oh,
bear.
yes.
Ah.
Yes.
Yeah. Interesting.
I would love to come back to these when they're actually released. And see what they're like.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying this. Should I keep pressing on, or should we wrap Key Ferry up?
Is
here?
there an end? I mean,
I'm not sure. It feels quite expansive. Like there's plenty of paths that I haven't taken. I haven't found a dead end yet.
give it another couple of minutes, because the other one doesn't have a playable demo, does it?
No. Well, I mean it's full release, but it's mobile. So, oh dear. Oh, I crappled onto them. It's interesting wrapping my brain around how this game wants me to play. Like, I was just playing Silksong before stream, and it's very classically, sort of 2D combat, hit, attack, dodge, in and out. But this is like each of the enemies. I feel like there's a different approach that I hadn't really considered before.
Yeah, it was definitely flipping that the basic movement on its head, like with the grapple and slide to move around, like you're not just pushing a direction to go. Oh.
Hello. So the danger lies to the east.
East of what?
Oh, hello. Oh, you're an angry person. I would like your stars, please. I fear any sort of environmental attacks, like anything that would leave a pool of creep or like damaging on the ground, would be really annoying to deal with.
Mm.
Right
Like,
now,
as-
a lot
as-
of these enemies.
Yeah, I was just saying, as I watch it, I feel like the just the avoidance mechanic would get sort of old kind of quickly. Like, it doesn't seem like the approach to any enemy is any different. You know what I mean?
It's felt a little different, especially those guys who would charge at me, but then drop their star right next to them. Oh my lord!
Okay, now here's that bullet hell.
Yeah. Yeah, it feels like a bullet hell, that's for sure.
The environment feels
Ooh.
quite small for that sort of arena.
Yeah. It feels small. There we go. Give me my hearts. Be warned, butterfly beholder, for a beast lurks.
So should
Well,
we
big
have a look
scrolls.
at the other one before we
Yeah.
finish up? This one looks
Oh.
interesting. Very different from the other two.
Yeah.
What do you think? What do you think about this? what would you think about this that got it funding? I mean, you're playing it, Fraser. Is it the feel and everything?
Yeah, I mean, I think, Charlie, like you were saying, right? Like, the avoidance mechanic might get old quick, but like in a demo, it feels really fun and fresh. And then you've got, such a unique style, not just in the art, but in the dialogue, and in the concept. It's really striking, which I think when you're pitching, sometimes you just need to be really striking, right? You need to be memorable, and that can kind of do, as long as nothing else stands out as a red flag, it can kind of carry you through, I think, sometimes.
And it looks pretty well, like the other. Well, how many? 3 we looked at last week. It looks very, in a lot of ways, almost very finished. It just needs like more levels and stuff. So I'm
Yeah.
wondering whether that's what they're looking for as well. Like, they're looking for games that mechanically and everything, it's all there. You just need to sort of do maybe another 20 levels or something to finish it off.
Yeah, and this like feels so approachable for me as a designer. Like, having this level of friction on the movement, it's something I've played around with before in one of the games I've made. But then to add like this grapple, again, it's nothing too like complex, but they've managed to dial it in mechanically to be really quite nice. Yeah, very
Well, let's
cool.
have a look at what we've got for the other one. Yeah, it looks good. So what was that one called again?
This is Key Fairy.
Key Fairy.
Yeah, who did this?
Tex Barnes and Niosis. Queensland. Okay, that's interesting.
All right, Flea.
Please.
And then we wanted to have a look at Gubbins, right? So yeah, Gubbins is a mobile game. It's
Kids game?
no.
Looks like a kids game.
Kids could play it, but they're one of the few sort of word games that is very happy with swear words and sexual references and those sorts of things.
Oh.
It's not Scrabble. You don't. You still get. Well, Scrabble's an interesting one. It is that sort of thing. The gameplay is very much. You get given kind of like Scrabble tiles, and you have to put them into a grid to make words, and you get scores depending on the words.
So you've played this?
Yeah. There you
It's
go.
been on the
There's,
ABC. It's been on the ABC. No ads. F ads. A game a day on the house. 30 gummins to collect. A new puzzle daily. No ads. I like that too. Yeah, I don't like ads. Hang on, made in
Yeah.
Melbourne. This is in Melbourne. Okay. I wonder who made this then.
It has some mixed reviews because of that, which I find interesting. It's
Because it was made in Melbourne.
no, sorry, the
What's this
the
prejudice?
no ads.
Yeah?
So the free version you can play once I guess every 12 hours or so.
Oh.
But you can also buy the game outright for I think like $5 or $10, and then you like I have it forever. And so yeah, it's received some pushback from that, from what I saw on the Play Store before stream.
Seems like a good way to approach it, though.
Yeah,
Scrabble on acid.
yeah.
Gay Scrabble. Interesting. Okay.
By internet user.
But yeah, so essentially it's like weird, messed up Scrabble, and you get power ups, and there are also challenges and daily puzzles. I think how I found about this is Hank Green invested in it, and so it kind of blew up on that side of the internet.
Money,
So
money,
very
money.
compelling-
So this is where
very compelling
this is
marketing.
this is the word of mobile games. Money is, there's a lot of money there. There's a lot of people who are Merry Christmas effer. What the I'm sold. It's okay.
Yeah, when
right
you-
now to give it a little crack.
Well,
When you
no,
were-
I don't put games on my mobile phone anymore.
When you, I think when you finish, you can make a little collage with the stickers and the words
Titties.
that you managed to write. So yeah, you can see there's all sorts.
Look, it's got us laughing. I mean, they've succeeded. I mean, it's a very, the design is good. That's yeah. As much as I
Yeah.
so hang on, Vic Screen. Okay, they got Vic Screen funding as well. Hank Green funding. Who is Hank Green?
He's a
Beam?
science communicator on the internet.
Oh, right.
Yeah, I believe this was funded with the one before what it turned into. Games expansion pack fund.
Right.
So before they split it into sort of the high and low, emerging and production fund. So yeah, this again, it seems like one of those ones where I can imagine the demo was pretty well there. They just needed art and probably some more of the power ups, and then the marketing. And I do like that though, because it means that we can get a game where what feels quite rare for the mobile space, you just pay for it if you want it, and the free version is just essentially like just a demo that you just don't get to play whenever you want. You just get a limited trial run essentially.
Yeah, interesting. Interesting. Hang on, can you go back to the awards just there? Top 10 games of 2023, mobile game of the year. Oh, they're all changing.
Yeah, good
best
luck.
iconography,
We got
best
Acme,
mobile.
Dice Awards, AGDA.
They won the
South by
Indie Showcase
Southwest.
at PAX. Best
Cool.
sound design at the Actors.
Interesting.
Recognizable.
I wonder how much.
institutions.
I wonder how much was spent on development, marketing, etc. I'd quite like to know.
Surely a lot.
It has that
Would have
big
been a
day
reasonable
out.
amount.
It has that big day out sort of website feel about it.
It's got that really, and I say over-designed, that it sounds like a bad thing, but it's got that really over-designed feel to me.
Yeah, it's like maximalist, right?
Max, yeah, like they've really put thought and effort into the design very intentionally.
It's very satisfying to play as well. You can see that finger that runs across. That's from memory. That's sort of like the confirmation of the word, and then it shows you the score. And there's all all the good sort of classic game design, tactility, sound effects to really
And they've obviously had a good marketing budget too. I mean, I think with like what you were saying, Charlie, that sort of over design. I mean, I think that comes where you've got the sort of the whole marketing business side. You've got a good business
Yeah.
plan for the whole thing, and I think that's where it comes
and
from.
I think I
so-
meant that in the the graphic design sort of
Yeah,
spectrum. Like I go to you go to like graphic design students' websites, and it feels like this,
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, not that we're dissing graphic design students.
Oh no.
We're not graphic design students. You can see by my my slides. My slides are my slides are not graphic design slides at all.
Maybe you could benefit from becoming a graphic design student.
No, I have no desire whatsoever. I know how to use all the tools, but I use those tools to make things like textures and stuff like that. I don't want to waste my creative juices in stuff like graphic design. That's not where they go. They go to games.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
What's this one? Dogpile.
Yeah, so I saw this, I think yesterday or today, but they've so Studio Foley, who did Gubbins, have teamed up with Toot Games, I guess, and yeah, just recently announced a new game, Dogpile, which is roguelike deck builder, which I've seen so many indie roguelike deck builders exist and also being announced, and I feel like this is I feel like we might be hitting the peak of this trend.
Yep.
But yeah, that's Studio Foley. So yeah, managed to release a really successful mobile game, and then yeah, have been able to continue and make something else that they're releasing soon. So good things are still coming out of Australian studios.
Cool. Okay. So once again, we have completely missed one of the things we had on our list of things to do. That's okay. So, oh, hang on. What have we got here? I guess we can do that next week. Yeah, we've still got. What were we going to look at the report on the Australian Games?
Yeah,
report?
the Australia Plays Report,
Plays
which is
Report.
a collation of data from
What's going on in Australia
The
in the
survey
games
done.
industry?
yeah, well for players specifically, how Australia plays games.
So maybe we should bring that forward next time. We'll do that second. We'll look at that second instead of leaving it till last, because it's languishing in the the background there. So any sort of final thoughts? We've got 3 minutes before 2 minutes before we're going to finish up.
No, not really. My final thought is I really need to go to the toilet, so I might duck out right now.
Okay. No worries.
That's so fair.
I'll just
No,
mute and be back.
Interesting thing because we don't often, well, personally, I don't pay much attention to mobile games, so it's always good to see what's out there and what's possible on that platform.
Yeah, especially when it's not just, what did we look at a couple months ago, Chris? That one studio that just remade games and put the smallest twist on it and just bought up a bunch of mobile studios and just... I think their motto was like, we just need to be 2% better than the competition. And it's
that's right. I'd forgotten about that one. Yeah.
So yeah, it's really nice to see, mobile games that have a reason to exist outside of a market share and profit motive, actual creative ideas and people trying to do things interestingly. Because it's like, I mean, it's such a unique piece of technology in our day-to-day lives. I think we forget because it's ubiquitous, right? I think most of the world has a phone in their pockets at all the time. So it's interesting to see how you can use it for a gaming experience, because it is so different to PC and console.
But the market is very different though, like between mobile, like even though like there is mobile PUBG. I saw the other day there's on Twitch there's mobile PUBG for India, like just for a country. It's like okay, but it I guess for me the mobile market it's like it's a little bit the same as the what do you call it, the NFT market kind of thing. It's all about money and about how much you can kind of screw out of people, dark patterns and all that sort of stuff.
I played a game that was a bit like that a couple of years ago called Whiteout Survival, and the community was nice, but they rely so heavily on people forking out, you know, thousands of dollars,
Mm.
and it's I do feel it is the predatory practices are a bit more common in the
Oh,
mobile
definitely.
space.
Definitely, no doubt about that. That's almost where they originated, and I guess also the online gambling apps and stuff as well. Like they're all on mobile more than on PC or
Yeah.
computers. So yeah, it's that space is a yeah, it's I don't know, not where I'd prefer to go. Not where I want to go personally.
The mobile space.
Exactly. Yeah, the mobile space. Just talking about dark patterns and
Yeah.
everything. Yeah, it's
Okay.
a tough place to be. Anyway, let's wrap it up there. It's 5 o'clock. Yes. So we'll be back again 3:30 on Thursday, back on our normal time. Excuse me. Yeah, we will see you the same time next week. Oh, actually, not same time. Thursday 3:30 next week, Australian. Actually, it's I was gonna say Australian Eastern Standard Time, but it's daylight savings time.
Daylight
next week.
time.
Daylight
Yeah.
saving. I don't know what it's going to be like in Adelaide, but it's going to be 28 degrees here in Melbourne on
Oh.
Sunday. Is it
What?
still winter? What happened to our winter? This
That's
is weird.
awful.
Would have been
not
awful.
looking forward
It's
to that.
fantastic. 28 degrees.
We've
think that'll
got
be yours on
algal
Saturday,
bloom
won't
in
it?
the ocean, so we're not allowed to go swimming.
yeah. Oh, well, that sucks. That's terrible.
But yeah, 27 is the forecast for Sunday, so
Algal
look forward to
bloom. Yeah, that's how did that happen?
time to get the kiddie pool out, I think.
Dear.
Blow it up and put it in the
Warm.
backyard.
Warm water. I'm not sure. We really don't
In the
know.
sea? It's
In the sea.
that usually happens when you've got raw sewage going out into the sea. What have you guys been doing in Adelaide, hey? treat
don't
your
know.
sewage properly. Just put it
It
straight
took
out
the
there.
government weeks to even acknowledge that it was happening. So
Yeah, I'm sure.
it's
Yeah.
been a bit of a nightmare.
That's a terrible thing, actually.
It's sad. We've lost something quite special.
Yeah, lots of
Clean
fish and
clean
birds
water
and
and
sea mammals.
lack of green algae. Ooh, that's really sad. Yeah, that is bad. So is that in the Great Australian Bight, or is that on the other side?
No,
Other side.
the east side.
Right.
So
All right.
all the metropolitan beaches.
Unswimmable.
Yeah. Well, yeah. It feels like Jaws, you know? It's like the scientists are like, hey, don't go out there. And the government's like, no, we'll be open for summer. Don't worry about it.
Sure. All right, guys, we'll wrap it up. We'll see everyone next week. Thanks for the discussion. Thanks for the comments, and we'll see you guys next week.
See ya.
See you guys.
Yeah.
And